call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Sullivan Leonard.
I'm here.
Councilmember Graham.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
I'm here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Vlock.
Here.
And Councilmember Harvey is absent and excused unless there's objection from the body. There is a quorum, Madam Mayor, with Council Members Sullivan, Leonard, Johnson, Brown, and Vlock participating telephonically, and Councilmember Graham is with us in person.
Okay. Councilmember Graham, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
It'd be my pleasure, Madam Mayor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the republic
and
for
to the
which it
republic for which
stands,
it stands,
one nation under God,
indivisible.
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Approval of agenda. The first item of business is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes? Hearing the agenda will stand as presented. Next on the agenda is persons to be heard. Do we have anyone signed up? Sarah?
No, ma'am.
Then we will close persons to be heard. Madam Deputy Clerk, please read the next item of business.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's new business item 6.1, resolution serial number 2135, authorizing the purchase and award of contracts for information technology equipment and services in an amount not to exceed $200,000 from CARES Act funds to enhance emergency protocols that support a mobile workforce.
Do I have a motion to adopt resolution serial number 2135?
Councilman Johnson moves to approve.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Graham seconds.
The motion has been made by Councilmember Johnson and seconded by Councilmember Graham. Is there discussion?
Madam Mayor, this is Councilman Graham.
Yes, sir.
If we could get an update from Mr. Tankersley, who happens to be sitting across the hall from me over here, about the remaining CARES Act funds following approval of this resolution.
Mr. Tankersley.
Yes, Madam Mayor, through the mayor to Councilman Graham. So the prior resolutions have been paid out to include the urgent care. After all that's been paid out and estimating reimbursement for WPD for December and other prior purchase order encumbrances, if you will, along with this 200,000, we would have a balance of 72,000 remaining.
Thank you, Mr. Tankersley. Madam Mayor, I move to amend resolution serial number 2135 to strike the number 200,000 and replace that with 272,000.
Okay. All right. Is there a second on the motion?
I'll second that, Madam Mayor. This is Councilmember Sullivan Leonard.
Okay. This is an amendment to the main motion that we are going to discuss next.
If I could get Mr. Tankersley to comment on that, please.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, the comment that I have is coming from the clerk's office, just prior, legislation, if you will, of amending the amounts upward as opposed to downward. I was of the impression that there was an issue if we did amendments going up as opposed to going down. Maybe the clerk's office can speak to that.
Okay, Sarah?
Thank you, Mr. Tankersley. Normally, with such a large, I would probably want to get the attorney on the line, but usually it's okay to amend downward, but going up, especially with such a large amount, we would need to notify the public. Because it's $72,000 above what we advertised.
Madam Mayor, can we get the attorney on the line and get an opinion?
Sure.
And Madam Mayor, I am here. This is Holly.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Well, Madam Mayor, prior to Holly's input here, can I ask Councilmember Graham what his intention was with the amendment? I supported his efforts, but I want to hear what the intent is.
Thank you, Councilperson. Thank you, Councilperson Sullivan Leonard. This is Mr. Graham. The intent here is to give the IT department as much flexibility as it needs, and within the funding that we have available to enhance the emergency protocols that support mobile workforce, which is the intent of the resolution.
Thank you.
Question, Madam Mayor, Councilman Brown.
Yes, Mr. Brown.
To Mr. Ferguson, do that give you any leadway if you put the whole amount? You said you had $72,000 left over, and if we had the whole 72 there, do that leave any error for any accounting errors that may come up that we may have miscalculated?
Troy, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, if I understood the question right, I think the question was that if there were errors or anything that surfaces in the accounting side, is that going to cause an issue? Is that was the question?
Yes.
Okay. I don't believe it'll cause an issue. It's December's public safety has not been reimbursed yet. I estimated November and December at exactly $500,000 each, and November's came in at $515,000. So that could, I don't know if that, I want to say that it's going to cause a problem. Things will settle out in January by the time we know all that. So, I don't think
Madam Mayor, this is Councilman Johnson.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
Madam Mayor and Councilman, I'm opposed to this on the grounds that the administration had the request for the $200,000 and could have justified the $200,000 if by adding the number at this particular point, it would give the appearance to the public that we as a council are basically spendthrift and only want to just add it just because we can. Therefore, I will vote against it. Thank you.
Okay, Troy, if I may, with the WPD coming in at 15,000 over, will that 15 come out of this 72?
Madam Mayor, no, it's already been calculated in. 72 is what's remaining now. Additionally, Steve Stewart, who is our MIS manager, is on the line if there's any questions. And I don't know if, under the CARES Act, the new stipulations, it has to be committed or by 12/31. So he, in essence, has Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to get that done. And I don't know that he can in 3 days. Maybe he can comment on that.
Steve, would you like to weigh in on this, please?
Sure. I mean, I think it would be very difficult in 3 days to find a way to procure $72,000 more in services, by Thursday. If we had more time, it'd be great, but I would find it very difficult, especially during the holidays, to get quotes and get everything planned out that we would require.
Okay, Mr. Graham.
Madam Mayor, I'm still waiting on the attorney's comments.
Okay.
Yeah, so in this case, because it's the law when we talk about amendments goes to is there or is there not a substantial change, and we don't have a great definition of what is substantial, and so there's some ambiguity. So what I usually advise clients is, one, be consistent with your former practice, and in general, amending something to go up versus go down has more implications and potentially more harm for the public. So it's more likely to be a problem if it sounds substantial. So I guess if you want to be careful, I would advise against it, but it's not outright unlawful.
Madam Attorney, thank you. So you mentioned harm to the public. If in this case the amendment passed, would there be harm to the public? I'm not seeing any.
No, I mean, I think if it passed and someone was arguing it harmed them, then somebody would be arguing that by using money that for one purpose that they didn't know you were using and didn't have the ability to come in and say you should use it for something else, for example, that was the harm. But I agree. I think it's attenuated. I think the city, if this is something that you really want to do and you feel like it's justified and it's consistent with your past practice on amendments, and I have not seen any amendments go up in this way during my tenure, but my tenure's been pretty short, so I would defer to the clerk on how it's been handled in the past, if that's useful. I know it's not a clean black and white answer, which we all wish we had, but that is sort of the rundown on the law.
Thank you.
Is there further? Did I hear someone else want to discuss this?
Madam Clerk?
This is Sarah Stanifer, the deputy clerk. I have not seen something this substantial since I have worked here, but this is CARES Act funding. We're on a deadline, and it is a resolution. It's not really comparable to budget. So that's my 2 cents.
Troy, this is Mayor Ledford. Let's say the resolution passes and Steve can only spend $200,000, what the resolution asks for. Then what happens to that other $72,000? We send it back? Does it sit there? What happens to it?
Yeah, absolutely, Mayor. So what Steve's able to commit to and get done with over the next 3 days really settles it out, whether it's 200,000, 100,000, whatever. And then it's a matter of a wait period to settle out the goods and the products and services that the city has committed to and the reimbursements and whatnot to the city. That'll go on until September 30th. And at which time, whatever funding is available under the CARES Act that we still hold in cash will go back to the federal government, or the state, actually.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Deputy Clerk, please take a roll call vote on the amendment only, not the main motion.
Thank you. So this is an amendment to resolution serial number 2135, And this is to strike 200,000 and insert in its place 272,000. Councilmember Graham, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Sullivan Leonard?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
No.
Councilmember Brown?
No.
Councilmember Vlock?
No.
Madam Mayor, that motion fails with Councilmember Johnson, Brown, and Vlock voting no, and Councilmembers Sullivan, Leonard, and Graham voting yes. Councilmember Harvey is absent.
Okay, we are back to the main motion.
Madam Mayor?
So, yes, Colleen.
Sorry, just with regard to further discussion, I would like to ask, I guess it would be Troy, with regard to how many city employees that we have considered remote employees at this time, and with the implementation of this new project, how will that assist the city?
Through the mayor, Councilman Colleen Sullivan Leonard. So what I call a definition of how many are remote employees, I would say none. However, the pandemic or endemic, however you want to say that, has caused a new view on the workforce, if you will, that has changed the way we operate, and it has caused virtually all departments, whether we're talking about PD or sports complex or city hall primarily, planning, finance, etc., when instances arise, to push us into a work from home concept. And I really can't give you an exact number, Councilman Leonard, as to that quantity or how many people have done this. I would probably venture to say, 15 plus at one time or another done the work from home. Technological wise, Steve can probably explain this better, but our work from home ability to tap the network right now is protocol driven, if you will. What Steve is proposing is to virtually be anywhere in the world and have a system that allows you to access our system. Security protocols in place, obviously, and everything that's robust that protects us from that, but simplify the work from home process as opposed to an employee having to visit MIS, check a laptop out, et cetera, that they can, in essence, from their own computers at home, and virtually everyone has one, be able to work from home.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. I know at the state level they still have employees that are remote now, where they used to work in an office, they no longer need to, and are at home working. And that's why I was inquiring. I wanted to see if we had city employees. How many employees do we have? 180 or greater than 200 probably. But I'm just trying to see how this works. But we don't know how COVID may move us in the future, and if the city may need to shut down at some point. I mean, we certainly hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, then we are ready and prepared for those type of emergencies. Thank you, Troy.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Deputy Clerk, please take a roll call vote on the adoption of resolution serial number 21-35.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Sullivan Leonard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Velock.
Yes.
Madam Mayor, the motion passes unanimously with Sullivan, Leonard, Graham, Johnson, Brown, Velock in support, and Councilmember Harvey is absent.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on the agenda is audience comments. Is there anyone in the audience?
There's no one in the audience this evening.
We will close audience comments and we will go to council comments. Madam Deputy Clerk, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Due to the AML Winter Conference, because we're going to have several council members attending, and I believe you as well, we do need to reschedule the special city council meeting. It was scheduled for February 16th, and this was on the clerk's office records management and council budget. And unless there's objection, if you wouldn't mind checking your calendars and just getting back to me in the next couple days, we're going to go ahead and reschedule that to Tuesday, February 22nd. And that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Madam Attorney.
No comment, Madam Mayor.
Councilmember Graham.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If I could get the clerk to kind of go through the February calendar of meetings. Are we meeting the 7th, 21st, and 22nd? Is that what?
Just pull it up.
Regular meetings and special meetings, if you can go through those real quick.
Give me 1 second.
She's working on it. While she's working on that, I just want to say that if you haven't been out on the city streets today, they're actually in pretty darn good shape. So Public Works has been out there carving away at the snow and trying to get down to the pavement. And the major thoroughfares and the big collectors are in pretty darn good shape. Obviously, there's not enough sand in the world to cover the ice that's out there, but they've done a great job, and they should certainly be commended if you get a chance to talk to the operators that are doing that. But tomorrow we certainly have potential for even worse roads, because right now, I think when I drove in, it was about 33 degrees. The roads were wet and sloppy, and then of course it'll dip down tonight, and that sloppiness will freeze, and then one of the weather reports I said we might, or one of the weather reports I heard said we might get a couple inches of snow. So please be very, very cautious if you're out and about tonight or tomorrow. And thank you very much to the Public Works Department for the dedication of their employees getting out and making it possible for us to keep our city open for business. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Our upcoming meetings, our next regular meeting is January 10th at 6 o'clock. Then the next regular meeting after that is January 24th at 6 o'clock. In February, we have the 14th is our regular meeting, and that 16th is the one we're going to reschedule to Tuesday the 22nd, unless there's objection, followed by a regular meeting February 28th.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Clerk. I appreciate that. That completes my comments, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Councilmember Brown.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Councilmember Sullivan Leonard.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No comments tonight. Thank you.
Councilmember Velock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No comments.
Councilmember Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Hopefully everybody will have a happy New Year and no further comments. Thank you.
Well, you know, it's kind of ironic that we are discussing this resolution and passed it and whatever, because here we are, the weather's terrible, and it's probably going to be terrible again tomorrow. So all I'm going to say on that is everybody use common sense. If you shouldn't be on the road, don't be on the road. I don't know how else to go about protecting our people that are so valuable to the city. So, anyway, everybody have a happy New Year. Remember, we have fireworks on New Year's Eve at 8 o'clock over at Wonderland. And just stay safe out there. And the
Mayor,
time is...
Are there any comments from the attorney?
She said no.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear her. Sorry.
No, but thank you for thinking of me.
You did say no, didn't you, Holly?
I did say no.
Okay. Anyway, we are adjourned at 5:28. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Crystal Nygaard.
So Troy, at the